Hello, welcome to Geneva's Closet. My name is Geneva. I'm the talk show host of Geneva's Closet. I'm excited today because today our guest will be Bad Girls Club Seasons 10 reality TV star Alicia Samaan. I'm so excited about having her on today and finding out about her transformation from the Bad Girls Club season 10, and she was also on season 2's Bad Girls Club All Stars. And then from there, she completely turned her life around. She got into health and fitness, and now she's a Herbalife advocate. I want to start off by saying, I know that you're a very busy woman. I know this. I know your schedule is booked, it's locked. So I appreciate you taking the time out of your busy schedule to come and talk to Geneva of Geneva's Closet. I really do appreciate that.
Oh, you are the sweetest. You're welcome. Thank you for the opportunity. I'm so excited.
Yes, me too, because I have a chance to speak to a lady from the Bad Girls Club, and I wanted an opportunity to do that. But first, let me start off by saying this. That I met you, I seen you a few weeks ago when I had went to, what is it called? Women on Fire. It's like an empowerment group ran by Selena.
Yes, ma'am.
And I seen you there, and I heard your story where you were talking about, everything that happened with the Bad Girls Club and the transformation, and I was very interested in the transformation. I'm like, what? And the reason why let me just say this, is because usually when we hear things about ladies that were on the Bad Girls Club after the fact, it's usually kind of negative. Sometimes you hear about some positive things some girls are doing, but to hear about the transformation that you made, I just thought that it was really wonderful. So I wanted to kind of ask you some questions about that.
Awesome, and thank you. Yes.
No problem, no problem.
My life is an open book.
Okay, good, because I definitely have some questions. One of the questions that I wanted to ask you, Alicia, is what made you feel like that you were bad enough to go on the Bad Girls Club?
Oh my gosh. Okay, so, it's like, where do I begin? At the time, like the year that I was going into the show, because we film it, months before it actually airs. So the actual year that I was going into the show to be on the show to film, I was a music manager. So I was a music manager. I was doing PR work. I had 2 artists at the time. I was working with both of them, and I saw an open door. I let go of one of my artists, and I was still working with another artist as his PR. I was his sole PR. So I booked all of his, anything that has to do with the media. We were doing mixtape release parties. We were traveling around the world. We were just getting him tons and tons of exposure. But I was smarter than most people at my age. I was only 24 at the time, and I saw the opportunity of the internet. And I saw the opportunity of social media. So one day, him and I were sitting together. We were at his grandmother's house, sitting on her floor. And I looked at him and I was like, as your PR, I need more exposure. My brand needs more exposure to represent my artist or whatever I wanted to do at the time.
Right.
So I told him, I'm going to be on reality TV. He looked and he was like, whatever. Like him and I were like, so like joint. We were like, okay, let's do this. Like we're together. So I come home and I was laying in my mom's bed with her and we were sipping margaritas and I was on my laptop and I remember just like searching reality TV shows. Like what show am I going to go on? This screen popped up that said, now casting for the next season of the Bad Girls Club.
Wow.
Now, I was never a Bad Girls Club fan.
Okay.
My best friend was obsessed with the show. It used to come on Mondays, and I remember being at her house and like leaving her house because I could not stand the show. So it came up, and I looked at my mom, and I was like, Mom, do you know what the Bad Girls Club is? And she looked at me, and she was like, oh, you'd be perfect for it. Girls in a house that are screaming and fighting all day long, you need to do it. So I was like, no, I'm really about to do it. So I filled out an application, okay? It was just an internet online application, and they were just asking random questions. Now, in high school, yeah, I was a fighter. I was a fighter. I grew up with 3 brothers, so they were crazy growing up. We constantly got into fights. It was a very like hectic, violent type of household. It was, you know, that. So I was strong. I was like, I was strong. I can handle my own. So I filled out the application, and I didn't hear back from the Bad Girls Club, and I felt some type of way. So I call up my best friend, and I start researching where the next Bad Girls Club casting call was, and it actually was in North Carolina. And this is May 2000. What year? Let's see, May 2012. May
Oh, wow.
Okay. So May 2012, 2 weeks before Memorial Day weekend, it said that there's the next casting call in North Carolina the weekend after, or the week after Memorial Day weekend. So long story short, him and I packed up my car. We drove down to Atlanta to celebrate Memorial Day weekend. And the plan was to go to Atlanta and then the next day go over to North Carolina, audition for the show, and then turn around and go back to Chicago. Well, I broke my nail. Okay, this makes sense. Listen, I'm obsessed with my nails. So I broke my nail, and I was like, okay, before we go to North Carolina, I have to stop at this nail salon and get my nails done. He was like, okay, no problem. So he dropped me off at the salon. I'm sitting in the salon, and I remember my phone was like right in front of me, and I was getting my nail fixed, and it said Bad Girls Club.
Wow.
An email.
Wow.
Like, what? I was like, wait. I'm like, why are they like contacting me? So I open the email and it says, hi, Alicia, we received your application. We will be in Chicago on Saturday and we would love to meet you.
Wow.
I was like, what? I was like, no. Oh, I was like, wait a minute. So we jumped back in the car. We went back to Chicago. A couple days later, interviewed. Next thing you know, they liked me and they brought me into a second interview. Next thing you know, they're like, hire a film crew, hire a camera guy, spend one day following you. We want to know what your life is like. My life is insane. That day went west. We ate Philly cheesesteaks at Madison. We were like all over the place. I did like a appearance. It was just like, it was absolutely insane. And next thing you know, they were flying me out to LA, and next thing you know, they contacted me and they were like, you have 2 days to pack. And I was actually in SWAP at the time because I was doing community service for getting arrested for underage drinking from years prior. It's been crazy. So was I bad enough to do the show? Yeah, I was a bad girl. I was in and out. I served 5 days in Cook County Jail. I was in and out of trouble. I had a suspended license when I was like 18 years old for like 6 years. I mean, I made some really stupid mistakes, but really they weren't stupid because I learned from them. So they were incredible lessons. But looking back, I was angry all the time. I was just like, I wasn't who I am today. I wasn't this positive person. I was a go-getter. I was always a go-getter. But I had like that quick instinct of, if she pisses me off, I will punch her in her face.
Okay.
And that was my attitude. You know, that was my attitude. I wasn't scared to fight. I wasn't scared to yell. I wasn't scared to put somebody in their place. I was mean. Like I was a mean girl.
Right, because that's one of the things that, because I know that you said that you wasn't a huge fan of it, and I know that I used to watch it like when it first came out, and then at a certain point, it's just draining for me, and I'm not even in the house. I'm just sitting there watching it. It's so draining because I think that we tend to feel like when we're watching the Bad Girls Club, we're like, good grief, you're living in a mansion, you got all of this stuff in there. I mean, like, what could you be that angry about that every single day, every little thing that these girls do pisses you off and make you mad? I mean, like, isn't that, we look at it like, isn't this a great opportunity? Like, what are you fighting for? So then that's my next question. Were they in there instigating things? Because it's just like a lot. You would think that the girls in there would appreciate it. So it's some things being instigated.
So, okay. So again, like I know media from the inside to the outside, being behind the scenes to being So what it is that they put 7 girls in a house together that have completely different personalities.
Okay.
So if you think about it, okay, you're in a house with 7 girls that are complete strangers to you. You don't have a cell phone. You don't have social media. You don't have TV. You don't have magazines. You don't have access to, like, you can't just walk out of the door. You're
Right.
on set. So what you did have was alcohol, and you had the freedom to do whatever you basically wanted to do in the house. So did the producers instigate us? No, absolutely not. But at the same time, it's like they know what they're doing.
Right.
I have like a dominant personality. So I'm not quick to react to somebody's like childish behavior. I would rather like look at them like they're crazy and walk away.
Right.
Well, that might piss another girl off. Like, why is she walking away?
Right.
You know? So they took us and they strategically put us together so that we have different personalities. It was like, looking back, their producers, they're so incredible at what they do, because they put me in the house. I was the biggest girl. I was the tallest girl. They called me like overweight. I was like the fat girl. I was a redhead, whatever. But at the same time, like, I was there on business. I wanted to get my artist on the show. I did get my artist on the show. I saw it as an opportunity to, like I said, build myself, build my brand. But the other girls, I'm not saying all of them didn't, but most of them, their desire for going on the show was to be famous. Okay. So they were wiling out, you know, like my dad would have killed me if I hooked up with a man on the show. I know, right? So like hooking up with a man wasn't my thing. Running around the house naked wasn't my thing. Like, I was there. So looking back, like, I was there to, I don't want to say like run the house, but I was there. I was a strong girl. Like, I was the dominant girl. I was that dominant personality. I didn't do what the other girls did.
Okay. So do you feel like, since you did go on the show, the main reason was to help your artists out? Do you feel like that it helped out after you left the show, that everything happened the way that you wanted it to happen, that you had planned?
For him, yes.
And what about yourself?
For him, yes. For him, and his name is Yosan Tala. He came on the show. Everyone saw him. There was episodes about him. He was a trending topic on Twitter. He got it, like, went to England right after that on tour. Like, For me, no. Okay. Oh God, no.
Okay, no. So what happened for you?
After the show, I fell into a very deep depression. I knew, because again of my background of being a PR, being a manager, that the East Coast is where reality TV was like popping. So I took a flight with a booking to New York. I stayed in New York for 9.5 weeks, almost 10. I was homeless. Wow. God, that he presented 2 incredible people that both took me in at 2 separate times that let me stay with them. In between those, I rode the train in Harlem for an entire day, up and down Harlem. I was like stashing my luggage behind. They don't have alleys, so I would have to find strategic places to like stash my bag. My budget was like $3 a day. I was on my grind. I was on my hustle, because I knew I had to stay relevant. I wasn't the most like girl on the show, so I had to do what I had to do to stay relevant, to go where my fans were. My fans were some real chicks. Like, the people that loved me could kind of see through, excuse my language, but see through the bullshit. They were like, no, she's real. Like, they're instigating, like, they're like provoking her, like, you know, they're motivating her to do that stuff. It was crazy. But anyway, after the show, I did New York. I came back home, and that's when things really kind of hit rock bottom for me. My family wasn't proud of the decisions I made going on the show. They didn't understand. They didn't see the vision. I saw the vision. I knew what was happening. It just wasn't happening at the speed that other people probably really would have expected it to. I suffered, like I said, really bad depression. I became very suicidal. I gained so much weight. I shot up like 50 pounds after the show. It was not the path that I expected to go down.
Mm-hmm.
Looking back now, I'm grateful for that journey, because that journey from the day I got off set, we filmed for 72 days, up until the day that I almost committed suicide, that whole journey, which was about 7 months long, that whole journey is the journey that really created who I am today.
Okay. Wow. Okay, so let me ask you a question based on something that you said, just because I want people to understand, because people might be thinking, what made you get to such a low point? Was it that things didn't work out for you the way that you thought they were going to work out after Bad Girls Club, or was it a mixture of you already had some things that was going on with you before? Then you thought you were going to come on the show and things were going to happen for you in this grand way that it didn't happen. And then that the combination of things put you in a depression, or was it something else that happened? Because I want people to understand what got you to that point right after the Bad Girls Club.
It was to be honest, so it was social media. It was the social media bullying. If you actually scroll back, like on any of my social networks, and just look at the comments, people were calling me ugly. People were calling me fat. People were telling me that I should die. People were calling me just like the worst of the worst. So I was getting bashed on social media, and then nobody in my family really understood what I was going through, and they were kind of adding to what was happening on social media. And then my friends, I wasn't as open as I am now with like expressing my feelings and stuff. So I kind of just buried them, and then so I didn't have their support. I didn't really feel like I had anybody's support. And I didn't know how to tell people like what was really happening. I would get hate emails every single day. I was getting hate messages every single day. And it was driving me insane. I was losing my mind. I didn't even want to look at my phone. There were so many times where I literally threw my phone across my bedroom hoping that it would shatter, and it would shatter. I still kept my phone because I couldn't afford a new one, but it was like so cracked on the screen. I look back at it to remind myself of where I once was, but I didn't even want to look on Facebook. I didn't want to pick up my phone. I didn't want to go on Instagram. I didn't want to go on Twitter. It was just like every angle. Then, so it wasn't only Facebook and all social media networks, it was going into stores. So everywhere I went, people were like, oh my God, you're Alicia from the Bad Girls Club, and they were embracing me and they loved me. But it was like I didn't even want to be Alicia from the Bad Girls Club. I didn't even want to be alive at that point. I wanted to hide. I couldn't go anywhere. I couldn't do anything. I was miserable. I couldn't post a picture, and like I couldn't post anything without like it blowing up and having 3,000 comments about how ugly I was or how fat I was without those comments. So it tore me apart. It tore me apart. And I remember sitting on my bed the evening that I attempted suicide, and I told God, like, I can't handle it no more. Like, I think I went through so many different challenges to see how strong I could get. And at that point, it was like I had no more in me.
Wow.
I had no more in me. And I think like he knew. I think God knew like she really doesn't have any more. She can't do anything. And then that was the night that a guy from Herbalife reached out to me, sent me a link. I clicked on the link. He basically saved my life. Woke up the next day, and that's when I started my healthy, active lifestyle with Herbalife.
Right, isn't that something how God works? He's seen everything you're going through. He's seen you at your breaking point and said, you know what? It's time for me to step in and then do something for her. And then this huge change happened. So Alicia, tell everybody what Herbalife has done for you.
Oh my God.
Because obviously it's done some amazing things. Looking at your Instagram page, looking at your body, girl, it done did some wonderful things. So let us know.
You're awesome. So with my story with Herbalife goes back to like who I once was. When I first started Herbalife, I cussed my coach out because the shake didn't taste good. I ended up getting sick. My body went through like a detox, and I couldn't handle it. I was like throwing up told him to basically like kiss my butt, never call me again, never contact me again. It was crazy. Ignored his phone calls for 2 weeks. He called me every day, texted me every day. He was driving me like absolutely insane. So the night that I attempted suicide, he sent me a text, like I said, and it was a link to the book, The Secret. So if anybody is watching this that needs like to understand really how the universe works and how God works and how powerful our mind is, I strongly suggest go on YouTube, type in The Secret. It's about an hour long. That book turned into a movie. So that movie, which was about an hour and a half long, that was what saved my life. So I remember sitting on my bed and I pressed play and I was so irritated, like, why is he texting me now when I'm trying to kill myself? Like, that's what I was thinking about.
Wow.
And the next day, I woke up, it was about 7 o'clock in the morning and my phone was sitting on my lap and I was like, what just happened? Like, it felt like it was like a nightmare. So I called him and I was like, can you leave me alone? And he was like, well, you promised me an Instagram shout out. And you haven't shouted me out or my products out on Instagram. And I was like, because they don't work. Like, drank a shake and I got sick. Like, I don't want this. He was like, no, they do work. You just weren't following the meal plan. And your body was so toxic when you drank the shake. So, of course, your body's going to have that reaction. I mean, I just got back from New York. My budget was $3, like I said. So I was eating like pizza and like street meats like the entire day. Okay. So, yeah. And I was smoking 2 packs of cigarettes a day. Wow. And I was drinking a bottle of alcohol a day. Wow. I turned into an alcoholic. It was, so my body was toxic. So he was like, give me 3 weeks of your life, and I promise if you don't like me, because I wouldn't post him. I wouldn't post him because I didn't believe in the product. Mm-hmm. And I've had tons of companies send me things, and I try them out, and if they don't work, I'm not going to promote that. Like, I'm not about that. I don't care how much money it could potentially make me. That's not who I am. And I wasn't that back then either. So he was like, give me 3 weeks of your life, and if you don't like me, if you don't like the products, and if you don't like your results, I'll leave you alone forever. And I was like, okay, you promise? Like, and he said yes. So I remember looking in the mirror, and I was like, Alicia, you just got to do it. And at that point in my life, it was like, what did I have to lose? I had nothing to lose. I lost my car already. I lost everything. I had no money. I couldn't go get a normal job. I didn't have anything. And I was like, so what else do I have to lose? So I drank that first shake again. Well, technically second shake. And I started my journey. Every Friday I sent him a picture. I started getting more energy. I started walking. I started slowly running. I started doing like insanity with my cousin. Wow. And that first month, I remember I went from about a size like 19 to a 9 in my first month.
Did you say a 19 to a 9?
Yeah, I like snapped right back. Yeah, I snapped back to the weight I was like back in like pretty much like high school.
Wow.
And then I just stuck with it. So one of the things that I was telling my family along this journey, and I remember writing them a letter and reading it to them saying, like, I want to be a different type of bad girl. I want to be a bad girl that shows people what not to do. I want to set an example for these teenagers that are watching me. I want to show them. So I never would talk about sex, drugs, or alcohol on any of my social media. I kept all that off. I wanted to keep it positive and clean, but I also wanted my life to match it. I didn't want to be living a lie. So what Herbalife did was Herbalife connected those dots. Okay. They connected to the dot of like wanting to impact the world and help my fans to what my real dream was. And Herbalife was able to do that for me. So he told me, he was like, okay, you can become a member and you can earn income by selling the products. And I told him no. I was like, no, I'm not doing that. I'm not going to sell Herbalife. I'm not going to do this. He's like, no, really? Like, your results are so incredible. You love the product. You love how you feel. You can really change people's lives. Again, I didn't believe him. I told him to leave me alone. Told him, F you, stop calling me, all over again. I had no money. I remember, and so my banker to this day remembers this day. I had $73 in my bank account.
Wow.
And he said it cost $70 to become a member. Well, after tax and all that, it was like $72 and like 70 something cents, which left 36 cents in my bank account. It was 36 cents to my name. I had nothing else. And I called my banker and I was like, can you tell me how much money's in my bank account? She was like, 36 cents. I was like, oh my God. So I called him and I was freaking out. I was like, I don't want to do this. Like, give me back money. Like, I can't do this. Well, I posted my first result picture. And I remember this boy named Dennis wrote me first. He was my very first client. He's still my client. I met him in California. And he said that he's inspired by my journey. He was only 17 at the time. And he wanted me to help him lose weight. And I was like, oh my gosh, really? And then his mom got on the email and was like, hi, I'm Dennis's mom. He showed me your pictures. He's really obese. He's overweight. He has a lot of medical problems. And he really believes in you. He loved you on the show. And can you please tell me more about these products that you're using? And I was like, oh my gosh, is this real?
Yeah, you're like, it's working.
Like, is this really happening? And then that first week, I made $500.
Wow, that's amazing. That's really amazing.
And it was all my fans. It was all my fans. I was helping people. They were like freaking out because it was really me answering the phone, like really coaching them.
Right.
Like, oh my God, you're a TV star, but you're really my coach. And that's when my whole life just slowly started to change.
Wow, that's amazing that something like Herbalife was the beginning of your whole life changing. So now when you sit back and you think about everything that has happened, what do you gather from it, or what have you learned from this process that you've been through?
I learned that not everybody is going to understand your vision.
Mm-hmm.
Not everybody is going to understand your desire to live. Not everybody is going to understand your passion. And God didn't give them your vision. He gave you your vision. So no matter what you're going through in your life, and I was just telling my team this yesterday, there's always going to be a rainy day. We need the rainy days to create the beauty that's around us. There's going to be rainy days in our life. But if you allow those rainy days to take you away from the beautiful days, the beautiful sunshine, then you're never going to have the life you truly desire. We have to go through those storms to get the sunshine, to get the beautiful flowers, to get the trees, to get the earth that we live in. And that same thing for our lives. So you can't give up. You can't give up. God is going to put us through everything to see how bad we want our life to change. I wanted it so bad that I was willing to do whatever it took. And I kept showing him. And still to this day, I go through challenges and I go through ups and downs and I go through different things that are only going to make me stronger. And I know I'm going through those things because of what God has in store for me.
Yes.
I need to be stronger.
Yes.
We need to be stronger. And I know that if I didn't live the life that I lived growing up as the only girl in a family from a dad that's from Jordan and a mom from Poland, 3 brothers and me, if I didn't go through that, I wouldn't be who I was in my early teens. Then the teenager Alicia, who was rebellious, who wanted to do everything that her parents told her not to do, turned into the Alicia that had an ambition at the early ages of 20, going back to school, doing things that nobody, was doing at my age, then turned into the young adult Alicia. That now turned into the 29-year-old Alicia that is ready to drop a book, ready to travel the world, share my story, and to continue to inspire people to let them know that we all have the power in us to change. We all have the power in us to create what life we want, and we have to change every day, and to never give up, So I'm grateful for being homeless. I needed to be homeless. I needed my father to come and take my car away from me for the decisions I made of going on TV. I needed him to say no, to completely cut me off. I needed my brothers to let me go and go on my journey and not support that journey so I can come back and show them like, I'm just as powerful as you guys, and I'm just as strong as you guys, and I'm going to do everything that I desire to do, and I'm going to continue to have my self-respect and my self-love, and I'm going to impact this world. So I'm grateful. I'm so grateful. I'm grateful.
I absolutely love your story. I love empowering stories, especially coming from women. And then, like I said before, I just love how something like Herbalife, and you said that all you had was 70 some dollars in your bank account, because I know when you found out that the product was 70 some dollars and all you had was 70, I know you were like, should I waste my money on this? Is this shit even gonna work? Like, I don't even know. I mean, but you literally took a chance because you wanted something different. So you didn't know if it was really going to come out of the product, but you was real. I mean, but you were willing to give it a try just because you wanted something different. I mean, so I absolutely love that story. But I do want to ask you this, Alicia, what is the Boom Squad?
So the Boom Squad is basically made up of like 95% women.
Okay.
And that was one of my dreams. Like, I remember I was like, okay, I want my Herbalife family to be women. I don't discriminate against men. Men are welcome. But yes. I'm sorry, but we women, I feel like we have this hustle, this like eagerness in us that it's like, I'm going to succeed. So I wanted moms, I wanted single moms, I wanted women, I wanted teenagers. Like, I wanted women to empower and impact and be like, we can do this together, we can change the world. And that's exactly what happened.
Wow.
But it's like 95% women from around the world. I have teams in Guam, Canada, Florida, Memphis, all over Chicago, California, Texas, Ohio. Like, we're all over the map. North Carolina, Atlanta, New York. Yeah. I'm grateful. I'm so grateful. And that is the Boom Squad.
I mean, hello. I mean, you said everywhere. I'm like, okay. So you just got a bunch of women just around getting fit. So are you a Herbalife coach or fitness coach too? Or what's your title, if you gave yourself a title?
I do not do titles.
Okay.
I have no idea. If somebody I am Alicia Samaan. I teach people how to build a business, and I teach people how to get into the best shape of their life. Okay.
So Alicia, now I've never tried Herbalife before. What is, I mean, like, what makes that different from like a Slim Fast or, you know, another type of instant shake drink or whatever, for the people that don't know?
I love these questions. So Herbalife has been in business for over 37 years.
Okay.
We started in like the 80s. And the company was created by a man named Mark Hughes, who had a high school diploma. Actually, he might have been a high school dropout, to be honest with you. But his mom died from diet pills. She overdosed on diet pills. And he was 19 years old when his mom. So he had a desire to come out with something that helps people get healthy, but also ended poverty. That was Mark Hughes' dream.
Okay.
So Mark Hughes basically traveled around the world, got the most incredible doctors to create our products. So all of our products come from our seeds. All of our products are designed by the top doctors from around the world. We have Nobel laureates on our team. We have the U.S. Surgeon General. We have so many powerful doctors that actually create our products. So I know that when I pick up my label out of my tea, it's going to say all the ingredients in there, and the ingredients are all natural. They come from tea leaves. So there's not that extra chemicals that are harming your body. It's just nutrition. Herbalife created tablets that are made out of plants, fruits, vegetables, their food, and they just put it in the simplest form for our human body to be healthy. So our shake is 27 essential vitamins and minerals that are made out of the healthiest foods and fruits and vegetables that we can give ourselves. So it really made being healthy really easy, because for me, growing up, my mom always made dinner, which was always healthy. I wasn't overweight as a kid at all. I became overweight when I decided to start smoking weed and drinking alcohol and eating all the fast food. That's what happened to me. So it didn't happen to everybody else in my family. I was the only one overweight, not severely overweight, but more overweight than anybody. And So me trying to figure out, like, how am I going to get healthy? Like, I got to worry about breakfast. I got to worry about snacks. I got to worry about lunch. I got to worry about dinner. Like, I don't have time for that. I didn't have time for that. So Herbalife, when I was told 2 shakes a day, 2 snacks, and 1 healthy meal, and you'll lose weight, I was like, I'm down. Like, I'm down. Like, give it to me. I'll try it out. Like, I was down because it was so easy. So that's pretty much, that's what it is. It's 2 shakes a day. You lose weight, 2 shakes a day. You want just the healthiness out of our shakes, just to give your body the nutrients it needs, have 1 shake. And then if you want to put on some lean, healthy weights, then drink 3 shakes a day with your meals. It's just nutrition. Like, it's just food. So pregnant women drink it. Breastfeeding moms drink it. Adults, children, everybody, all ages. Our products are like, we're the #1 nutrition company in the world, and we're in 95 countries.
Wow. You know, because when I look on your Instagram page, I see the results being so quickly, like within 14 days, they've dropped some pounds. I'm like, that's amazing. Now that's some amazing stuff. Alicia, I had, you know, because I did a little research on you, and I seen another interview that you did. And you probably mentioned this on your Instagram page, but that's where I got the information from watching the interview. And you don't eat meat. Now, because I'm trying to stop that too. I'm trying to stop it. So I want to ask you this. Now, stopping the whole meat thing, is that part of the Herbalife plan, or is that something on your own that you was like, I need to stop this?
No, that has nothing to do with Herbalife.
Okay.
I think I'm the only no, there's one more vegetarian in, like, on Boom Squad. That she actually was inspired by me to research meat and all of that, and decided that she didn't want to, eat meat. But no, oh gosh, no. I think majority of the Herbalifers, they eat their grilled chicken and their grilled turkey and all that stuff. No, for me, I have a mentor, and she's hilarious. She changed my life. Her name is Renee. She lives out in California. The very first time her and I ever had a conversation, I was eating a grilled chicken salad. And we were on the phone, and she's like, so what are you doing? And that's like her voice. And I'm like, I'm having a salad. She's like, oh, tell me what's in it. I was like, grilled chicken, and it's a salad. This is before the personally developed, like, chicken and a salad. She's like, oh God, why would you be eating that dead animal?
Because I was trying to be healthy.
I was like, really, what I wanted to say was like, bitch, are you crazy? Like, what? I looked at my phone, I'm like, excuse me? She's like, forward. I started thinking about, like, what am I eating?
Right.
Like, what am I really eating? So that conversation sparked a part of my conscious mind to be more aware of what am I really putting inside my body. And from that conversation, I became a vegetarian for 4 months. Then I had, and that was no fish, no meat. Then I had meat, and I got terribly sick. And I was like, you know what? I don't like that. So then I started eating fish, dibble-dabbled, and every time I went to have a bite of meat, I got really sick. So I'm like, my body is not reacting well to this at all. There's something more. So then I really started becoming very spiritual. I started becoming, a mentee. She was my mentor, Karen Calabrese, who is a vegan in Chicago, very famous, very well known, has a store in what is it called? Lincoln Park right now, a store and a wellness center and a restaurant. Started going in there every day. Started doing yoga, started meditating, started really understanding my life, and started, not my life, but my body, the power of how food can heal us. So it took like a step more for me to become like a real like wellness coach. So now I know the different fruits and the different vegetables to help headaches and to help clear my skin.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, so my transition from a meat eater, coming from a Middle Eastern background, eating meat every single day, to not eating meat at all, it was really simple because I was educating myself along the way. I was reading, I was watching videos, I was learning about what I was putting in my body. I was starting to study these holistic doctors, going to different seminars, really understanding. So for me now, it's not so much like I don't want to eat meat because it's an animal. It's me saying that I don't want to eat meat because of the effects that it has on my body.
Okay.
And nowadays, meat isn't meat. And I don't want to get really like in depth on that and be like that crazy vegetarian, but like there's so many hormones that they're putting in meat. There's so much just crap in our meat. It's not like meat was in the 1950s.
Okay.
It wasn't like it was years ago. It's so chemically created and generated in these labs, and I don't want it in my body. I want to go out into my earth, go into the environment, pick a strawberry and eat that and know where it came from. So that's my views on eating meat. And will I ever eat meat again? I don't know. My brother begged me to eat a piece of steak on his birthday, just a little piece of steak. He's like, please, just try it. Just try it for me. I stuck it in my mouth and I was like, this is
I mean, why would you even want to? I mean, after you realize that it's not good for your body, and then meat is, like you said, not even what it used to be. And then you said after the 4 months, you tried it and then it made you sick. So why would you even want to go back to that? So have you noticed that you lose weight quicker, or that your energy is a little better now that you don't eat the meat, or have you noticed a change without the meat?
Well, the weight loss, no. Actually, it was easier to lose weight while I was eating meat.
Really?
Because you have to really watch like your carb intake. Fruits contain a lot of carbs. You have to substitute your proteins and understand like these greens are going to substitute your protein, so you got to eat more of the greens. I really had to educate myself on what I should be eating and what's going to help me lose weight. And I'm one of those like super keep it real coaches, and all of my clients know that about me, that no, it was actually easier when I had meat, because I knew, okay, a piece of chicken, some broccoli, and some brown rice is going to do great for me. But now it's like I really have to make my meals and my snacks and eat a lot of nuts, but not eat too many nuts because nuts are high in fat, and I have to like really like create a balance. So a lot of studying, I had to do a lot of studying to really get to where I'm at right now, to understand what foods I need for my body to look like I want it to look.
Okay. I mean, well, you're giving a lot of great information today, and I had to ask about the Herbalife because I've been a little interested. I don't know, does it work? Because I've never taken a shake before. So I'm like, would a shake work? So.
Yeah, so this is what I'm going to do for you. I want to either send you a shake, bring you a shake, make you a shake, or we're just going to have to like meet up so you can try this shake and try Herbalife, because like even if it's just your breakfast, like I was just talking about on Snapchat today, like how much yeast is in the coffee bean, and people don't understand. So if you have a history of urinary tract or yeast infection.
No, Alicia, no.
Coffee out and see like what happens to your body. Like, yeah. Now let me bring you.
Not the coffee.
Yeah,
okay, whatever.
The coffee bean contains a lot of yeast. So, like I said, if you're a woman that has a lot of yeast infections or urinary problems, cut out the coffee and see what happens to your body.
Okay, see, we're getting some info. Alicia's giving all the info today, people. She's giving
the nuggets.
Okay, so I wanted to ask you this, because I don't want to waste a whole lot of your time, because I know you're busy and she want to get her exercise on, people. We can't stop this.
Oh, we're not doing that. We're not doing that tonight. I'm good.
It don't matter. This is still what she does. But what I wanted to ask you is, now I understand that you probably wouldn't change anything that has happened in your life, because like you said, it has all brought you up to where you're at today and taught you everything that you know now. But, and then I know the Bad Girls Club is the reason why when the people say your name, they're like, oh, we know her from the Bad Girls Club. But let's say that 21 or 22-year-old girl came up to you and she said that, girl, I think I'm bad and I'm thinking about going on the Bad Girls Club, either because she just thinks she bad or because, you know, for publicity, what would you tell her? What advice would you give her?
I'm a girl that wants to be on the Bad Girls Club. I've had hundreds of these emails come in. I've actually had different of my mentors have mentees tell them, like, I want to go on the Bad Girls Club. Can Alicia talk to me, or, you know, something like that? Here's my answer. Well, here's my first question, I should say. What is your intention? Mm-hmm. What is your intention? Because it took me 3 years to get interviewed as how did you turn into the girl you are today? Not how you got on the show, Alicia from the Bad Girls Club. It took 3 years for somebody to take me seriously, to understand that I changed my life. It took me 3 years for people to take me seriously. It literally was a grind. I was asked so many times to do club appearances for money. I was asked so many times to do risque photo shoots that I'm not about for money, that I had to turn down and take not the broke route, but take the I don't know how to say it, but take the route of not making money, you know, because of my vision, because I didn't want to put myself back into that bad girl club, that Bad Girls Club light. I was trying to work so hard to get away from it. So my question to all these girls that want to go on the show is, like, what's your intention? Because if your intention is to go be like a video vixen, or go be like a model in like a string bikini, a thong, you know, like that, girl, go do it. Go do it and be half naked on the show the whole time. But you have a vision of impacting the world, or being a businesswoman, or having people have respect for you and really take you seriously, then no, that's not the show for you. Okay. That's not the show, because you do lose, and I don't want to say you lose value, but let's be honest. What are you watching on that show? You're watching half naked girls fighting all the time, fighting and fighting and fighting, and they show your worst. Your worst. Yeah. So unless you have a very strategic plan of why you're going on this show, you're not going to make it. It's not going to turn out to be what you want, because you have no control. You don't have control over what they put on. You have no control over the writer. You have no control over what they air. You have no control. So unless you have a very strong plan, that what you're going to do after the show, there's no reason for a girl to go on that show. There isn't. Now, like I said, unless they want to be like video vixens and all that, more power to them. But I had one girl ask me, she's studying to be a nurse. She wants to change the world, and she wanted to go on the Bad Girls Club. And I said, why? Like, you're studying to be a nurse, and your desire is to help the world. Right. What do you think going on the Bad Girls Club is going to answer that plan? That, you know, like, what are you really thinking about? Then we started really talking, because I really talked to these girls, and she said that after talking to me, she realized that wasn't something she wanted to do. And she was 21. Like, I went on the show, I turned 25. I just turned 29, so it was 4 years ago. Like, filming, I was currently filming right now 4 years ago. Wow. If on that show when I was 21, oh God, my dad would because you have, like, I'm going on a show and I have no idea what they're going to show. Right. So have a plan of action. This is why I'm going on the show. This is what my goal is. This is what I'm going to do. This is my backup plan. This is what I want to happen. And be prepared for it not to go that way. Wow. I think that's really good advice. And I think that girls do need to hear, need to know this. Because first of all, I'm from the Chicagoland area, and so is Alicia. So that's just wonderful. That's why I had to have her on here. And then, so I know that you do some working out in Bolingbrook.
Where can everybody contact you or find you if they want to come work out with you? That's basically what I'm trying to say.
So what is going on right now is we live in Chicago. We never know what the weather is going to be. So right now I'm working on getting a facility. So we don't have any active like weekly classes as of right now in Chicago. But if people just follow my Instagram, I'm going to be doing something really cool where I'm going to be visiting a lot of the cities that I have teams. And I'm going to be offering workout classes and offering the opportunity to come to me, hear my story, and to really help more of the world and help more people. But to really find out like what I'm doing social media, my life is an open book. I post every single day. I don't hide anything because I really want people to understand that this is my true authentic self. And what you see is exactly what you get. And I have no filter. Like I have no filter. I'm very real. I'm very honest.
That's how I feel too. That's how I feel too. I mean, because people can appreciate you being honest. People know if you're on a bunch of BS and you're giving them bare minimum information. People know because then they be sitting in the background like this. She ain't giving me all the truth. So I feel the same way that you have to be 100% honest and authentic in the things that you say. And why not be an open book? Because your information could be helping somebody else. Giving just a little information, you may be stopping somebody else from really finding out what's really going on. So I agree 100% with you.
Thank you. And you know what? The last thing I really want to say is I want to say thank you for not only like reaching out to me and working around my crazy schedule, because I am doing a lot, of course. But I just want to say thank you for this opportunity. You know, I am a firm believer in women empowerment. I think that more women need to support more women and not have so much jealousy. Like we're all created so beautifully that, you know, we have our gifts from God. Like we all were given these special talents and nobody is better than anybody. So I just want to say thank you. Thank you for being one of the first people in Chicago to interview me. I've been by so many people from around the world, but not that much like here in Chicago. So I just want to say thank you so much. You are a beautiful soul. I feel your energy from right here. Thank you. Thank you. I do want to bring you a shake. I want to bring you I want to say something. And really, again, like, thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
And I want to shake, so let me just throw that out there. I didn't forget she said that. And I might put this part on the interview. Post it out there just so you know that she said I was going to get my Herbalife. So I definitely want my Herbalife, Alicia. And if you have any events coming up in Chicago, I would love to be there just because I would love to be media for it. So if you're doing any Herbalife or working out, contact me, and I would love to be there and film that whole thing that you have going on.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay. Well, once again, thank you, Miss Alicia from the Bad Girls Club season 10, but she done completely turned that around, people, completely. Make sure you follow her, and thank you again so much, Alicia. I really appreciate you coming on Geneva's Closet and telling your truth today.
Thank you so much, Geneva. This was awesome. This is really cool.
Yes, you have a great day and stay busy because you're definitely busy. So stay busy. Bye.
God bless. Amazing day. Bye.